I'm tired of gacha games that try to emulate Hoyoverse as much as possible. And I will be totally honest, Withering Waves was a breaking point for me where it was either gonna make gacha for me or break gacha for me. Now, thankfully, the future anime type video games that are coming out, because let's face it, I do feel like we are anime fans first before we are gacha fans. And we happen to be gacha fans as a symptom of us being anime fans. But I'm pretty sure if we were to have good, solid anime games that aren't in the gacha model, we will be playing those as well. One of my favorite games of all time is Asura's Wrath. Asura's Wrath is a game that came out in PS3 and Xbox 360. Kind of an old game for some of y'all. And it was so true to what makes anime anime that I just freaking adored that game. And I have been seeking a game that is anime, well, until Genshin Impact, until when Genshin Impact came out, especially one that was medieval, and it has that magical feel that anime gives. And well, Genshin failed to meet my expectations. I'll cast Aura later. And finally, we have Withering Waves that is close, this close to meet my expectations, but I cannot help myself but notice the patterns. If you've been living under a rock, we have new games that are coming out, like Do It Not Abyss and Ananta, that will hopefully give us a place where we can go as a community, as anime fans, to play video games that are just supposed to just be video games and not this slot machines, basically made to maximize and take full advantage of not only our love for the media that is anime, but more dangerously our loneliness. Because whether you don't look at the stats or not, there's a loneliness epidemic going on, especially for guys, but most also girls as well. People don't like to talk about that too much, but women are lonely as well. Just because a woman has more access to sexual partners doesn't necessarily mean she feels like she has this tight-knit group in her life. Typically, they're alone as well. And I would argue that women have it worse because it's dangled in their face every time. Like, you could not be alone, especially romantically. But guess what? A lot of people are just after what's in your pants. Too bad for you. That's just an argument of mine. I know a lot of guys might hate me for that, but that is something I did observe because I'll be honest with you, I'd rather not have, I'd rather be hungry rather than being hungry and smelling the smell of food coming from the kitchen. That is more torture to me personally. I can only imagine how it is for women. But anyway, that's just a weird tangent. But it's also something to keep in mind as it is definitely a thing that they are taking advantage of in how they are basically promoting the product. This is why you see Lupa trying to be like she's giving off this girlfriend vibes. Where you see Carthethia giving this girlfriend vibes, and now Galbarena. All this is done on purpose to take advantage of the lack of romance in your life, basically. And this is how far this is willing to go. And once you recognize it for what it is, it's stupid. You're like, whatever. Oh, everybody's in love with me. Oh, well, big deal, right? Especially when you have the mental fortitude and to not only recognize but also navigate that, it's not a big deal for me. I typically, when I see scenes like that, I just roll my eyes. Except for one, when Carthethia was asleep, she woke up and she was shy. That shit was cute as fuck. I bought that one. Very, very nice, very beautiful. I love that shit. But besides that one, all of them, I just basically roll my eyes. So anyway, why am I saying all this? I'm saying this to just put into context exactly what we're dealing with. And we're dealing with what I like to call always the best analogy for these gacha games are the same as prostitutes. As in, they want to make you think they care about you and all these gacha bitches care about you. But in reality, they're just after what's in your wallet, basically. And that's fine. That's a business model. We get to decide whether to participate in it or not, especially since, guess what? It's not illegal yet. It could remain legal, but it's not illegal yet. And I don't mind the business model. I think if you know how to navigate it, if you have the mental fortitude, you can navigate it easily. But all in all, this is what it is. I'm just laying it out exactly as it is, all right? So it's not the biggest problem in the world, but one can see the problems within it and how far they're willing to go to monetize their system and what they're willing to take advantage of to have their monetization system be good. So basically what really drove this point home is, well, 2.8. Now, one of my concerns a long time, a lot of people will not remember this, but one of my concerns with Withering Waves is, are they going to follow the same pattern like Genshin Impact or Hoyoverse really, where they always have up until a point 0.8 until going to the next region, to the next main storyline, getting back into the plot. Now, I know this is supposed to be just a break, but I feel like Arena Sita was somewhat filled with filler here and there before reaching the finale. It was stretching it to just insane proportions where it's like, why are we battling the Thronodian for the third time when we already beat him? It's supposed to be over. We're supposed to move on from this zone. Sure, Septimont was great, but it should have been just this quick transition for 2.5 or 2.6 before moving to 3.0. The fact of the matter is there's some stalling that is occurring, and it can only mean one thing. They're doing the same shit as Hoyoverse. This is just normal pattern recognition, and that is something that I don't know about you, but for me personally, especially considering the lack of development and polish that we've seen recently from Withering Waves in recent versions of the game, the lack of also, more importantly, the lack of rewards, free stuff that we're used to in the game, the lack of it tells me that there has been a shift in direction in how the company does things that I, for one, personally, I'm not what I signed up for. I know business-wise this makes a lot of sense, and if I were them, I would do exactly what they're doing. But I feel like at some point you don't necessarily have to, especially when this is the same people that made PGR. And one could say, well, because PGR is not as popular, and that makes my point. Just because you're this popular doesn't mean you have to maximize profit this much. There should be some form of line where the players are happy, especially casual players with a good head on their shoulders, and your diehard fans, / what you want to monetize us for. This is slightly tilted towards monetization to a very high extent that I, for one, cannot feel comfortable enough just doing. Especially when I'm not rewarded enough in terms of gameplay and in terms of experience when it comes to the game. It's just not, there's not much for me anymore. And I cannot sit here and say it's not exactly the same dance like it was with Hoyoverse, because it is. It is the exact same dance. Once again, I've been fooled by Genshin Impact. I have been fooled by Honkai Star Rail. I have now also been betrayed. Well, not betrayed, but disappointed by Withering Waves because I had a lot of hopes for this. And guess what? It is what it is. Are you asking for more events? If you've been around the channel, you should see a video of mine where I spoke about events. I think events are a bad deal. I think most events are a miss, and they're either hit or miss by design. And typically 90% of them are a miss. I don't even do them shits anymore. I'm tired of those. If I should not be penalized for not doing a mini game I don't want to play when you're willing to give out the rewards anyway. I should be receiving the rewards as soon as the event ended, whether I have participated in the event or not. I should just unlock the event and I should be receiving the reward. I do not give a damn about the events because it's a mini game that typically sucks. That's where I sit. I think FOMO is ultimately something I'm tired of. I feel like I'm FOMOing a lot by hot girls I see on the street. I don't need FOMO in my video games as well. I'm FOMOing every day by missing business opportunities. I don't want to FOMO by freaking video games here because of a dumb mini game. I don't want to do that. Even in the dailies, I feel like dailies should not be required to be daily, as in one of my favorite models is the one in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, you can pile up dailies where, say for example, you can skip 2 to 3 days of not playing, and when you do play, you can say, for example, there's like 5 chests like per day. If you do this and this and that, you get this amount of points. And those points can be used to unlock the daily rewards, right? Kind of like what they started with Honkai Star. Anyway, whatever. So you get a bunch of points that unlock the daily rewards, right? Well, guess what? You can pile those up, as in the challenges you're supposed to do, and reaches a maximum. Say, for example, 3 days. I think 3 days is a good threshold. Kind of like what Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel does. You reach 3 days, that's when you log in, you farm the echoes, you have the echoes saved, you have the things converted automatically, whatever the form it may take. Remove the FOMO, remove the fact that we need to log in each and every single day to do the exact same shit that most of the time does not amount to any form of progress due to the RNG systems you have built in to reduce the amount of advancements people make so that you can maximize retention. At this point, you are throwing the baby with the bathwater for the sake of numbers to show sponsors, which I get. Once again, it's good business, but you are throwing the baby with the bathwater because we are burnt the fuck out of this business model. And thankfully, a lot of companies have caught up to that fact, looking at Do It Night Abyss and Silver Palace, hopefully, is not a gacha. And also Ananta, more specifically, I freaking adore what they're going to do there. And I think even speaking of which, Gacha Smack here spoke once about developers not wanting to follow the gacha business model because they have seen through a study that players are just burnt out. Like they're tired of that business model. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm tired. I'm just tired, man. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm tired. I am tired of this sing and dance. One of my hopes was that regions would not last this long in Withering Waves. It turns out that they did. It turns out they will stretch things unnecessarily. It turns out they will just do things like others do because it comes with the business, and I understand it, but it doesn't mean I have to stay in it. So I will be backing up a little bit. If I have been summoned, like in my previous video with Narushio and Rexan, if I'm summoned for something, I will respond your call. But I don't think I wanna keep doing this sing and dance every day, daily with these games, because I think everything is clear out. And I think also what I started with doing is to get people more aware of these predatory tactics and these business tactics, which is yet again another video exposing those very things. And yeah, I feel like I did a decent job. I did a decent job at that, and I feel like a lot of people have woken up to this. And if there's anything that is tricky, kind of like the Narushio situation, that is maybe an angle that people don't see, I would love nothing more than to add value to the conversation that's in the community. But beyond that, as a gamer, like as a creator, I'm here. What I'm trying to say is this: as a creator, I'm here, but as a gamer, man, I don't know, guys. That's basically it. This is where I stand personally. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, there's gonna lower cost, man, because why the fuck not? They're just gonna adapt to the job market because you know, even people that don't do too well in the job still get paid. So it's like, why the fuck am I trying so hard? But if you do want to maintain certain people, you do want to do that. But if you don't care about those, all you care about is your revenue, which most corporates do, well, they're just going to minimize the cost, where even if they lose out on customers, reducing the cost of making the content is effectively them actually saving money, as in it's like those players were there, but at least it makes my life easier in the shop. I hope that makes some sense. Unfortunately, this has seemed to be like a long time coming thing, but here it is. Here it is. There's pattern recognition. And I think anybody that's been around the block in these gacha streets know that, yeah, we've seen this song and dance before, and pretty tired of that. Some changes need to occur, or I don't know about you, but I have a decent machine and I'll just be playing different games until then. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Be seeing you.